The news out of Afghanistan is bleak. General Stanley McChrystal, the top commander of U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan, wants as many as 40,000 more troops to fight this war. President Obama is debating with his advisors what to do. Now, this is a very tough problem. It is getting worse, and the clock is running. Senator Lindsey Graham was just in Afghanistan. He joins us live. Senator Graham, I guess there's no dispute that it's getting worse and worse.
It's getting worse because the Taliban have reemerged. The 68,000 American troops combined with the NATO forces, according to General McChrystal, are not enough to regain lost momentum. And I'm going to side with General McChrystal. He's come up with a counterinsurgency strategy to take back over lost ground and to come up with a different plan to govern. We need civilian help too, but in the short term, we need more combat power.
When did he come up with this plan, and when did he send it up the totem pole to the president?
It's been in the works since March. The new strategy was to engage Afghanistan like we did Iraq, where our soldiers would not only train the Afghans but live with them, fight with them. That's the way you make an army better. You just can't train them and let them go on their own. So it's been in the works for a long time. He's been ready to send it to the president for weeks now. And I appreciate the dilemma of the president, but you're not doing a good service to the 68,000 who are in Afghanistan with no hope of changing the environment. So I would urge the president to act quickly, because to get more troops in, we got to start now to get them in by next year.
Well, isn't the whole idea to be decisive too? I mean, each day I was looking at the numbers of people, and this year the numbers of American military deaths in Afghanistan is 218 so far this year, which is already 40% more than 2008. Yeah. So we need to do something.
Yes, ma'am. My view is that General McChrystal has thought well, long and hard about what that something is. The something is to regain lost ground, to take the 40,000 additional troops, deploy them in areas where the Taliban have reemerged, 1,000% increase in IED attacks. We learned in Afghanistan and Iraq, when we put more troops in, the people trusted us. They told us more about what was going on. So more combat power will win the population over to our side. And if we don't act quickly, the casualties are going to go up. The worst of all worlds is to keep in place what we have now. It's an unsustainable situation. It needs to change one way or the other, and I think more troops is the way it needs to change.
Do you have any doubt in your mind that President Obama is going to do as his general on the ground, McChrystal, says needs to be done?
You know, I work really hard for Senator McCain. This is not President Obama's war. I want him to be successful. I want to help him. If he ignores the general's advice, and we don't send those troops, I don't see how we win. I know General Petraeus and General McChrystal very well. They understand what they're asking. The people going to Afghanistan are going to come from Iraq. So I would urge the president to listen to his military commanders. These people know what they're doing. They turned Iraq around. They could turn Afghanistan around. And every day we wait to make this decision makes it harder for those who are there in Afghanistan. So if the president said tomorrow to the nation, I know it's not popular, but we need more troops, Lindsey Graham would be standing by his side. I will not do to President Obama what they did to President Bush. If President Obama will embrace the commander's recommendation for more troops, I will be one Republican standing by his side trying to tell the American people we can't lose in Afghanistan. This is the place where we were attacked. Losing in Afghanistan to the Taliban is a nightmare for this country, for Pakistan. It's the end of NATO. A lot is at stake here.
Going back to my question, do you have any doubt that President Obama is going to follow what his commander on the ground says? That's the first question. The second, is anyone telling him anything differently?
Well, I know he's got a lot of people talking to him, and he's very worried about sending people into combat, as he should be. But those who suggest a different strategy, a counterterrorism strategy where you use less troops, we tried that in the 90s.
Is that the sort of the Rumsfeld military light, where we try to do this light thing a little bit?
Exactly, the idea of fighting from a distance. And we understood one thing in Iraq, that the Iraqi army had about 200,000 troops, but when they went into battle, they folded. Only when we put more American troops into Iraq, living with the Iraqi army, training with the Iraqi army, fighting with the Iraqi army, did they get where they are today. We need to do the same thing in Afghanistan.
I don't remember the exact date. I think it was August, maybe August of 2003, when Senator John McCain said we need more boots on the ground in Iraq. I think that was when he first started saying. He told me again in April of '04, and it was a long time before anyone sort of listened to John McCain. He seemed to be the one pushing that. Has anyone called Senator McCain and said, what do you think?
Well, the president talked to him, and I appreciate the president reaching out. The president has to evaluate, what will work, what will not work. But we're about to do in Afghanistan what we did in Iraq, not have enough manpower to affect the outcome.
So you think this is going to happen then? I mean,
I think we've forgotten the lessons of Iraq very quickly. I hope the president will listen to the commander. These are the commanders that turned Iraq around, and if we don't act quick, we're going to lose more ground. Every day that we wait, the Taliban gets stronger and our troops get more at risk.
So let me go. Do you have any doubt he's going to do that?
I don't know what he's going to do. I've got no doubt what the general is recommending. Read the report. The general says if we don't reinforce Afghanistan, we will lose to the insurgency within a year.
What's taking him so long to make this decision, the president? I'm not saying long, but why isn't he making that right now?
I'm sure he's worried about what will happen with the governing part. If we send a bunch of troops in, will that affect the governance problem? The problem in Afghanistan is the Karzai government has failed. I understand. I've got doubts about the Karzai government, but without better security, no government can function. So I would urge the president, get a better security environment, then we'll push Karzai together. Republicans and Democrats will hold his feet to the fire to do a better job of governing the country. But if you let the security situation deteriorate, we're going to have more casualties, and we're going to lose the ability to turn around Afghanistan. If we had not had a surge in Iraq, we would have lost. We're at the same point in Afghanistan in 2009 as we were in Iraq in 2007. We need to change strategy.
We only have 20 seconds left, but it's fair to say, though, that the president, the president's very concerned about this, and he's looking at it. It's not like he's just blowing this off.
He's very concerned, but he needs to act because time is not on our side, according to General McChrystal. The longer we wait, the worse it gets.
Senator, thank you, sir.
Thank you.